Hi, I'm Tel the Hiker. I just completed a 19-day solo Australian Alps hike and I took my new ultralight stove and cook setup. I believe it's the most efficient and lightweight setup available. Let's get into it. At the core of this setup is the Kojin ultralight alcohol stove, weighing in at only 17 grams when it's dry. What's good about it is it's the most efficient alcohol stove on the market, and if you don't use it all, you can just blow it out and put the cap on, so it conserves alcohol there. As you can see there, I'm drawing up alcohol with my syringe. The reason I do this is so I can even be more stingy with alcohol and just use the exact amount I think I'll need for a boil. Next, I'm putting out the Vesuv Windshield. It's a titanium one. There's also the Caldera cone that's available in the market too. Much for muchness, so they're just designed to concentrate the heat onto the pot and act as a windshield. This Vesuv Windshield weighs in at 29 grams. The last leg of my Australian Alps trip, I was out for 11 days without resupply and I had only 185 mils of alcohol. I was supposed to be only about 7 or 8 days, but weather held me up out there, and with 185 mils of alcohol I was able to cook tea for 11 nights. So it'd be about a 15 mils on average for an evening tea, and that included risottos and pastas, which are fairly gas intensive. Wind, it's actually pretty good in the wind, but I try and keep it out of the wind. It won't blow out, but if it's in a windy spot, it will just use more alcohol. Probably the biggest downside to this system is you've got no heat control, so I put in enough for a boil, and then to simmer it's very difficult, so I'd have to often just put in 1 or 2 mils every now and again to get it to simmer. Upside is you always know how much alcohol you've got. For a trip you can measure out the exact amount. You don't have to deal with empty gas canisters. It's ecologically friendly and it's cheap to run. I tried using natural fire lighters and they just produce too much carbon and were messy, and it's just far better to use alcohol. The great thing is, even if you run out of metho, you can make a little fire with a few little twigs and do your boil that way. I use a titanium pot and lid that I got from Ti in Tassie. It weighs about 110 grams. How I discovered this setup was when hiking the Larapinta. I hiked for quite a while with a couple of guys called Dan and Seb. And Seb was using this setup, and he'd done a lot of hiking in Europe, and they use a lot more alcohol in Europe. So yeah, that's how I got the idea. Now, if you think that you've got a better system or lighter, or you can improve this system, please leave it down below in the comments.